What's going on, guys? Today I'm doing the prospect pyramid for the Pittsburgh Penguins. If you're not familiar with this concept, I think it was made relevant by Steve Dangle. He makes one on the Leafs like every year, so I thought I'd give it a try with the Penguins roster and prospects and stuff like that. So, on the bottom level 6 is everybody who has pretty much no chance of making the NHL. That's your AHL, just AHL guys, like people you've never heard of. The 5th level is little chance of making the NHL. We have Jordy Bellavry, don't know how to say his name. Nicholas Almari, I've heard their names before, but I'm not really familiar with them. Jan Drogs, I've heard his name a lot, but he hasn't made the jump up to the NHL yet. He might one day, maybe, but not looking that good. And then Justin Almedi, I don't know much about him. Those are the players that you have a tiny chance, maybe if there's a huge injury crisis at your team, they get in for a few games, but probably won't make their NHL debut. The fourth one is players who are likely to play at least one game, like 1 to 30 games in the NHL. I have newly acquired Philip Lindbergh. I think he's a good, decent goalie, but I think the only way he gets in there is if Jarier Smith gets hurt, and that might happen. But and other prospects at the top means he probably won't get a look in once Jarier and Smith aren't there. I have Tristan Braz. We just drafted him in the 2nd round. I don't know much about him. That's why he's there. I think next year, if I have more knowledge of him, he could move up, but that's just because I don't have much knowledge in him. Kasper Bjornquist, he was a pretty high prospect until he got a really bad injury, and now he's just making it back up, and I think he has a decent chance at making the NHL roster like few years, maybe this year if there's more injuries, which there probably will be because every year there's injuries with us. Then we have Josh Mancilio. He was a college free agent we got last year, had a decent AHL season, and he could make it in if defenseman gets injured. Like if we had it like last year, he definitely gets in there. Then we have Cam Lee. He was probably the more exciting prospect when we got both of them from college free agency, but I think Mancilio has taken over and Cam Lee has really slowed down. And then we have Jonathan Gruden, the prospect we got in the Matt Murray trade last year. Probably won't be a big part of our team, but he could get in there. Then we have Valtteri Pustinian. I really butchered that, but I can't say that. He probably will play at least a few games. He's one of our most exciting prospects, but I just don't know that much about him. So he'll probably get a few games, maybe even more if he lights it up. And then we have Sam Militek. I was hesitant to put him in this one because I've heard his name for like the past 5 years being a prospect that's going to take the next step, but I think he has one more chance to prove it, or he's going to go down to the 5th level. And then we have the 3rd level. These are players who have like a 50% or more chance of playing 100 games in their career. We only have a few. We have Joel Blomqvist, we drafted in the 2nd round, goalie, and then Cal Klang, a goalie who we drafted 3rd round, but is looking like more of the more exciting prospect. Those two are the reason I put Philip Lindbergh in the fifth instead of the third, because both of them, once Tristan Jarry and DeSmith are out, they'll be ready, and I think they just have a little bit more quality than Philip Lindbergh. Then we have Nathan Legare. I was thinking about him putting him in the second one, but I think I just haven't seen enough. Like, he was a third-round pick, and it's been a weird few seasons, so I haven't really seen him play that often. But I was gonna put him up there, but I just don't think he's up there with the quality of those players. And then we have Philip Hollander, who we just got back from the Maple Leafs. I think he could be a decent third-line center who plays a lot of games, but once he gets to the AHL, then I'll see more from him, and that's when I can move him up or down. But for right now, he sticks there. And then the second level, the high potential prospects. I think these two are not the best players that could be in there, but they deserve that spot. We have Samuel Poulin, first-round pick a few years ago. He should be making the step up next year. Well, I hope. He's definitely going to go to the AHL if he doesn't make the NHL. So we'll get some pro action there from him. And then Pierre-Olivier Joseph played less than 10 games last year. Hot start, slowed down a bit, but got to play in the AHL. Got some good experience there, and hopefully that turns into success in the NHL. And we have a spot missing on defense to replace from Cody Ceci. He can hop in there and fill that spot. And then the Tier 1, we don't have any players there. They're the elite players. We haven't had one of those since Crosby and Malkin. So, probably won't have one for a few years. So there's my prospect pyramid. Next year I'll probably get more into the prospects, watch some highlights, follow them throughout the season, and we'll have more informed ones. But this year is just put players in positions really on what you think. Tell me what you guys think in the comments below. Should a few players be higher? Do you not like where any of the players are? Should they be lower? Remember to subscribe and like. Peace.